Very warm welcome to physics class. In continuation to the previous class, here we have 10th question. In the 10th question, he is asking what is the velocity of light. He is asking what is the velocity of light and what about the frequency. When a light travels in the medium, what happened to the frequency of the light? And these two things we are going to learn in this. And here the medium is dielectric medium he has given. So let us write the given data. What is given? Let us write given data we shall write. First of all, the light is traveling from vacuum to dielectric. The light is traveling from vacuum to a dielectric medium. Okay, light is traveling from vacuum to dielectric medium. Okay, if the two charges are separated, di means two, electric means charges, electric charges. So if they are separated by a distance, two charges plus q and minus q are separated by a distance, this process is called as a dielectric. Okay, when they are separated by some distance d, they are separated from distance d, and the process of separating two different charges, unlike charges, equal and opposite charges by some distance, then we can call it as a dielectric. So here the light is traveling from vacuum to dielectric. Okay, so when the light is traveling from one medium to another medium, the frequency does not change. The frequency remains constant. Frequency remains constant. Even though it travels from one medium to another medium, the frequency remains constant. So here what he has given, c is the velocity of light in vacuum. That means c is equal to under root of mu naught epsilon naught. Okay, and we also know that c is equal to frequency into lambda. You know, frequency into lambda. The lambda is nothing but it is the wavelength in vacuum. Wavelength in vacuum is called as lambda. Okay. So from this we can find out the what we call velocity in the medium. Suppose the light is traveling in a medium. Suppose the light is traveling in the medium, and then velocity of light in the medium is given as 1 by root mu e, mu into epsilon, right? But we already know that mu is equal to mu naught into mu r, and epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. Substitute this value here, what we will get? Velocity in a medium is equal to 1 by under root of mu naught mu r epsilon naught epsilon r. So if you rewrite this one, what you will get? 1 by under root of mu naught epsilon naught into mu r epsilon r. So 1 by mu naught epsilon naught is c. So c by under root of, so this value we can replace with the c. Okay, this value we can replace with the c, velocity of light. So 1 by mu naught epsilon naught is equal to c. So that's why c by mu r epsilon r. This is the velocity of light in a given medium. This is the velocity of light in a given medium. Like this we can calculate velocity of a given light. So here we got velocity of light in a medium is equal to c by under root of mu r epsilon r we got. Okay. So what is mu r value for a dielectric? In a dielectric medium, in a dielectric medium, mu r is equal to 1. So now velocity of light in a medium is equal to how much it will be? C by root epsilon naught r. But already given that root epsilon naught r is equal to 4. It is given in the question that mu epsilon naught r is equal to 4.0 he has given, means it is equal to 4 only. So substitute these values, what you will get? C is equal to, you know already, 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. This is the velocity of light in vacuum. Okay, so velocity of light in vacuum. So what you will get here now? Velocity of light in a medium is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by root 4. So that is equal to what we can write? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 2. This is nothing but c by 2. The velocity became half. So now he is asking what is the lambda? How much lambda will decrease? If the velocity in the medium is decreased to half of the velocity of light in vacuum, then what is the lambda value he is asking? So lambda in a medium is equal to what we can take? Velocity in a medium by frequency in a medium. But already we know that frequency remains constant. Frequency in the medium is equal to frequency in a vacuum. So frequency in a vacuum, what we can write? Just now we have done that C is equal to nu lambda, no? So I want nu is equal to C by lambda. Okay, right? So you substitute here, that is lambda is in vacuum here, this is. Okay, and now substitute in this, what you will get? Velocity, that is lambda in medium, is equal to velocity of light in medium. How much we got? C by 2 we got. So C by 2 divided by V medium is equal to V vacuum. Nu medium is equal to nu vacuum, that is frequency in the medium is equal to frequency in the vacuum. So we got a frequency in the vacuum. So this is frequency in the vacuum. Now substitute this value. C by lambda you will get. Lambda in vacuum. So C and C get cancelled. It get reciprocated. So this is equal to lambda by 2. Lambda in vacuum by 2. So the lambda, the wavelength also becomes half. The wavelength also becomes half the initial wavelength. In the medium, the wavelength becomes half. If the velocity becomes half here, the frequency remains constant. So that's why the wavelength also becomes half. Like this we have to do. Right. Next problem. Next question. So here the 11th question. If an electromagnetic wave is going like this, electromagnetic wave is going like this. So here if you take this electric field, this becomes magnetic field. They are perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. This is the direction of propagation of the wave. Wave velocity is going like this. So electric field are perpendicular to each other. Electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, and they are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. Okay. Mutually perpendicular, all are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, this is perpendicular to this again. So like that, we should know like this. Okay, and this is perpendicular, this is suppose a magnetic field, this is electric field, and this is a wave propagation. The wave is going in this direction. Okay, right? The wave goes in this direction like this, like this, like this, like this. In any direction we can show. The wave is going in this direction. Electric field is perpendicular to this wave. It is perpendicular to this wave. Electric field. This is wave propagation, and this is magnetic field. Okay, three mutually perpendicular to each other. So like this. Whenever it happens like this, here given that the wave equation is equal to E naught cos of kx minus omega t. Kx minus omega t. Okay. So this is the what we call a wave equation, electromagnetic wave equation, electromagnetic wave equation, EM wave equation. E is equal to E naught cos kx minus omega t. In this, E naught is called as the amplitude. E naught is called as the amplitude. K is called as the wave vector. K is called as the wave vector, and x is the displacement, and omega is the angular velocity, and t is the time taken. Okay, these are the important things that you have to understand in the equation. Okay, right. Next. So in the 11th question he is asking k is equal to how much he is asking, and omega is given 6 into 10 to the power of 8 what we call the radians per second is given, omega. Okay. Next what he is asking, wave vector k is equal to how much he is asking. So wave vector k is equal to what we can write, wave vector k is equal to omega by c. Okay, right? Wave vector k is equal to omega by c, right? So omega value already you know, c value also you know. What is the c value? 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So what you will get, k is equal to what you will get? K is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 8 per second by 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. So second get cancelled. 10 power 8, 3 1 ja, 3 2 ja. So k is equal to what you will get? 2 per meter, because k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So it is reciprocal. K is inversely proportional to lambda. So that's why we got by lambda means by meter we got per meter. That's why we got per meter. Okay. Next. So in the 12th question, E naught is the amplitude in electric field. Amplitude in electric field. Okay. And B naught is the amplitude in magnetic field. Amplitude in magnetic field. So how they are related? What is the relationship between E naught and B naught? So E naught by B naught is equal to C. That is the velocity of the light. E naught and B naught is equal to E naught by B naught is equal to C. That is the velocity of the light. So here what we can write, E naught by B naught is equal to C means B naught by E naught is equal to how much? 1 by C. B naught and E naught is equal to 1 by C. What is C? C is the speed of light. Speed of light in vacuum. Speed of light in vacuum. So like this we can answer. Next question. So in the 13th question, what he is asking is, if electromagnetic wave is propagating, electromagnetic wave is propagating, then electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. Electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. So the direction of propagation of the wave is perpendicular to both fields again. Suppose electric field is along I cap direction, magnetic field is along j cap direction, then the velocity, the propagation of the wave will be along I cross j, that is equal to k. So along z axis, it will be along z axis. Okay, so like this we can decide the direction of propagation of the wave, right? Both are along x axis, y axis, means automatically the propagation will be along z axis. So in the 13th question he is asking that one only. The electromagnetic wave is propagating along the positive z axis is our answer. Since he given in the question electric and magnetic waves are perpendicular to each other, and one is along x axis and another one is along y axis, so what will be the electric propagation means? The propagation of the electromagnetic wave will be along the direction perpendicular to both the fields. The direction of the propagation of the wave is cross product of both the fields, that is electric field and magnetic field. Next question. So 14th question also same. What he is asking in the 14th question means, what about the direction of propagation of the electric field? Electromagnetic wave is asking. So electric field is perpendicular to magnetic field is perpendicular to direction of propagation of the wave. Okay, so you can take it for granted these things. Okay, you can choose option C in this. Okay, so next question. So 15th question. In the 15th question, what is given means given data we shall write first. Given data, E is equal to 10 centimeters into 10 to the power of 8 10 to the power of 7 t plus 10x. See omega t, you just compare this one. E is equal to E naught into here we have cos, here we can write cos E naught of cos of omega t plus kx. It is in the form of this one. Omega, you have to compare this one value is 10 power 7. T for t1. K, you have to compare with the 10. Okay. So like that we have to go with the equation. Like that we have to go convert the values. Okay. So here if you compare what we get, amplitude E naught is equal to how much we can get? We will get 10 volt per meter. You will get this is the amplitude, and omega is equal to how much you will get? 10 power 7 radians per second, the units of omega, and C is equal to what is the value? Nu lambda. C is equal to nu lambda. From this what we can write? Nu is equal to omega by 2 pi into lambda, because omega is equal to 2 pi nu. This is our formula actually. In this I want nu, so send this 2 pi to that side. You will get nu is equal to omega by 2 pi. Like this you will get. Okay. And moreover we know omega is equal to 2 pi by t also we know, but nu is equal to 1 by t. So that's why we got omega is equal to 2 pi nu. So in the place of this 1 by t we are writing here nu. So omega is equal to 2 pi nu you will get, and nu is equal to omega by 2 pi you will get. Okay. Next. Here right. So next we got omega by 2 pi into lambda we got here. So just we want a lambda value from this. we want wavelength. So what we can write, lambda is equal to, you bring this c to denominator and you bring this 2 pi to c, omega to denominator we have to bring. Omega comes to denominator, 2 pi goes to numerator. So what you will get? 2 pi c by omega. Lambda is equal to 2 pi c by omega we will get. This is the value we get. Okay. Now you substitute the values, what you will get? Lambda is equal to 2 into 3.14 into what we got here? C, what we can write? C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by omega value, what we got? Into 10 to the power of 7 we got, right? Okay. So you will get nearly 3 3 is a 9, 9 2 is a 18 you will get, right? And one more term is left over. Here 10 power 7 is there and 10 power 1 will get cancelled, into 10 will be there. So nearly you will get 186, here 180. So in the question here 10 we have written, no, it is not 10, it is kx only. 10 I thought it is 10, but it is kx only given, 10 is not given. So we have to find this k also, we have to find this k value. Okay. And k is equal to, the formula is omega by c. A is equal to omega by c is our formula. And so we already know omega value and c value. Just to substitute you will get. And here we got lambda is equal to 188.4 meters we got. And k value we want means 10 to the power of 7 by 3 into 10 to the power of 8. So here 10 and 10 will 10% cancel. 1 by 30 you will get. So that is nothing but k is equal to 0.033. It goes on. 33 it goes on. So 0.33 we stop here, right? Meters. Like this we can find the values. Okay. Right. The next question. 16th question. So 16th question, what is given? Equation is given. What is that equation? Ey is equal to 2.5 n by c, and what he is asking to find? Wavelength he is asking to find. Okay. So if you know the frequency, we can find the wavelength. So in this question, the formula is given like this. That is Ey is equal to 2.5 Newton per coulomb, and cos of 2 pi into 10 to the power of 6 radians per second into t minus pi into 10 to the power of minus 2, pi into 10 to the power of minus 2 into x, like this E is given. So we generally compare with our equation. E is equal to E naught cos of omega t minus kx. Sometimes we will get here plus, sometimes we will get minus, nothing to worry about it, right? Okay, omega t plus kx will get, right? So if you compare the equation, what you will get? This you give omega, this will give pi, k value. So now you got omega is equal to 2 pi into 10 to the power of 6 we got. From this E we have to find frequency is equal to how much, and k value is pi into 10 to the power of minus 2 we got. From this we have to find lambda is equal to how much. So two things we have to find, frequency and lambda. Okay, so how to find means, already we know mu is equal to, in the previous problem we have said omega by 2 pi, no? nu is equal to omega by 2 pi. So substitute the value 2 pi into 10 to the power of 6 by 2 pi. So 2 pi cancel, they will get 10 to the power of 6 cycles per second or hertz. This is the frequency, you got it. Frequency got it. Next, similarly lambda is equal to, what is our formula? 2 pi by lambda. K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Wave vector. It's a wave vector formula. K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Now we substitute here. Pi into 10 to the power of minus 2 you will get. Pi get cancelled. Okay. And this implies 2 by lambda is equal to 1 by 10 square. Now cross multiplication, what you will get? Lambda is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 2 meters. So you got lambda like this. Simple. Okay. Right. Next problem. So 17th question, what he is asking? What is the velocity of light in vacuum? This already we know. 17th question. The velocity of light in the vacuum is equal to under root of mu naught epsilon naught. Right? Where mu naught is the permeability of free space, epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. Okay? Permittivity of electric field in free space. And C is the velocity of light in vacuum. Velocity of light in vacuum. And mu naught is the permeability of magnetic field. Permeability of magnetic field in free space. Okay. Similarly, epsilon naught means what we can write? Permittivity of electric field in free space. So like this we can calculate like this. Okay. So this is about 17th question. Next question. 18th question. So in the 18th question, what he is asking? In electromagnetic wave, electric field and magnetic field are in phase. They are in phase and perpendicular to each other, and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. Okay. So first of all, number 1, electric field and magnetic field are in phase. He is asking whether they are in phase or not. He is asking. They are in phase only. Number 2, they are perpendicular to each other. Number 3, they are perpendicular to each other and they are perpendicular to direction of propagation of the wave. Okay. But these two only given in the option. You please check the option. Okay. Right. Next question. 19th question. What he is asking means electric field is there, magnetic field is there, and velocity of the wave, that is propagation, direction of propagation of wave. This is the magnetic field. This is the magnetic field direction, and this is the electric field. So what is the question here is this direction of propagation of wave is parallel to what? It is parallel to the cross product direction of electric field and magnetic field. It is parallel to the cross product of electric field and magnetic field because the direction, suppose this is in I, this is in J direction, this is in I direction, this will be in K direction. So what we will get here? I cross J is equal to K only, no? According to cross product rule. So that's why now K means K and K are parallel to each other, no? So its direction of propagation is parallel to K. K means nothing but I cross J. So this is the cross product. Cross product of these two things if you do, then this vector is parallel to the cross product of these two vectors. So like this we can answer. Okay. Next question. 20th question, he has given the frequency. In 20th question, frequency is given and velocity is given He's asking lambda is equal to how much? So lambda is equal to c by nu. Okay, frequency how much given? 100 hertz. Velocity 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. You just do it. You can do this one. Okay. You want to do this. And next, in 21st question. In 21st question, what he is asking is, he is asking the value of mu. Mu he is asking value of mu. So how to find the value of mu? How to find the value of mu means, so we already know that C is equal to under root of 1 by mu naught epsilon naught, we know. Okay, and we know V is equal to 1 by under root mu epsilon, we know, right? So from this we have to find this mu value. So how to find, so this I can write as like this: 1 by square root of mu square root of epsilon. You cross multiply this one to this side and bring this one to here. So what you will get? Square root of mu is equal to 1 by V into epsilon, you will get. Okay, 1 by V into epsilon you get. And V is also, we know that C by under root of mu r epsilon r, we know C, right? Mu is equal to, we know this one. Substitute here this value, what you will get? So root mu is equal to 1 by C into root mu root epsilon by under root of mu r epsilon naught or epsilon r, we will get. So this gets reciprocated. So what we will get? Root mu is equal to under root of, this is 1 by C into under root of mu r epsilon naught r by epsilon, you will get. Okay, but already we know that one thing, that C is equal to 1 by C is equal to nothing but mu naught epsilon naught r, isn't it? C is equal to this one we got now. So 1 by C is equal to what we can write? Under root mu naught epsilon naught we can write. Substitute this value here. You will get under root of mu naught mu r epsilon naught r by epsilon, you will get, right? So epsilon naught r by epsilon naught r means this is epsilon value only. So this epsilon get cancelled. Okay. So you will get mu naught mu r. So mu is equal to mu naught mu r, you will get. Okay, mu is equal to mu naught mu r, you will get. So mu is equal to mu naught mu r. Directly also we can write. This is a process not required. Already we know this one. Mu naught mu r. Okay. Next question. So in the 21st question, he is asking lambda is equal to how much? Lambda is equal to how much means lambda is equal to C by V. C is equal to 1 by mu naught epsilon naught. V is equal to 1 by mu epsilon E. So from this lambda is equal to C by V. So 1 by under root of mu naught epsilon naught by 1 by under root of mu E. So that is equal to lambda is equal to square root of mu E by square root of mu naught epsilon naught. So lambda is equal to under root of mu E by mu naught epsilon naught. So he is asking lambda, not mu. please correct it. So 22nd question. So 22nd question, what he is asking means the wavelength of radiation used should be less than the size of the particle. Then only the resolution will be better. Okay, he is asking about the resolution. So the size of the particle means here the size of the particle should be equal to the wavelength. Size of the particle should be equal to the wavelength. Okay, so the wavelength is equal to how much? C by V. We already know that wavelength is equal to C by nu. Right? Nu is a frequency and C is, we know, velocity of the light in the medium. So here wavelength is given already, 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4. The wavelength is given, lambda is given, so we have to find frequency. Lambda is 3 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Wavelength velocity is 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Okay. So this is given in meter per second and this is given in centimeters. So you convert it into meters. What you will get? This is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. Okay, this is lambda we got. Now we know nu is equal to C by lambda. So that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 3 into 10 to the power of minus 6. 3 cancel, minus 6 goes up, it becomes plus. So 10 to the power of 8 plus 6, that is equal to 10 to the power of 14 hertz. Okay, so like this we can calculate frequency. 23rd question. So 23rd question, what is, we know that E is equal to h nu according to Planck's constant, right? According to Planck's constant we get this equation, E is equal to h nu, but C is equal to nu lambda. So from this we can write nu is equal to C by lambda. So you are going to substitute this value over here. So what you will get? E is equal to h C by lambda. But I want lambda value, cross multiply. So what you will get? Lambda is equal to h C by E. So what are the values given in the question? Let us see. H already we know, right? C we know. C 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. H is 6.25 into 10 to the power of minus 36 joule second. Okay, right? And what else we want here? E is given, energy is also given, that is equal to 15 kilo electron volts, 15 keV. Okay, so energy is given. Just we have to find now lambda value we have to find. If you do H into C, you will get 1240 electron volts per nanometers. Electron volts nanometers. Okay. Now substitute these values in the formula. HC value we know, E value we know, E value we know. So substituting this, what we will get? Now lambda is equal to 1240 by 50 into 10 to the power of 3. Kilo means 10 to the power of 3. Kilo means 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so 50 into 10 to the power of 3 electron volts, nanometers. Electron volts cancel. So remaining, if you do cancellations, you will get the value of lambda like this, 0.083 we will get, nanometers we will get. X-rays range is from 1 nanometer to 10 to the power of minus 3 nanometers. So this lambda, this wavelength lies in the region of X-rays. This region lies in the region, this lambda, this wavelength lies in the region of X-rays. So that's why we can say by seeing the wavelength that these are the X-rays. That is our answer. Okay, right? Thank you.